Good afternoon, good afternoon. I am SandGrain1 and this is episode 12 of the Sand Pack series. And I want to start by talking a little bit about forestry. Forestry now has difficulty settings, and I've changed my difficulty setting from easy and up to normal. So I'm using normal difficulty settings, and I'd like to show you what kind of differences there are between easy and normal, at least those that I know and can see here in my base. And the first one, and that's the least obvious one, is that this machine now uses more energy. 25% more than they used to on easy. So this blue line here is now on more than it used to be. So in easy it was off like this quite often in comparison. So that's machines, or at least the farms, and that's true for tree farms as well. So down here we have my, I guess I never really shown this on camera before. This is the last design I chose here. But let's concentrate on the changes first. This recipe here used to provide 6 bog earth, and it's now giving me 4, which means that for dirt, for bog earth, it means that I just get what so this bog earth farm now give back 4 dirt for a bog earth. So this system is no longer producing dirt, and it's actually using more sand, because 4 sand is now giving 4 bog earth instead of 6. So this is also, I'm currently manually refilling this. And so this on easy, this system, actually these 2 farms, the 3 farms, was creating more sand than this bog earth factory was using. But now it's a negative budget again. This is where I produce the fertilizer, and this recipe also changed. It's now 6 fertilizer instead of 8. So here as well I'm using more sand and more apatite. Not running out of apatite anytime soon. The quarry is still running from time to time, so, and that seems to keep up with the use of apatite in the humus production here. And I guess that's the changes. At least now there's one more difficulty change that, at least that I have noticed. There might be other changes, but there is one that is more obvious than the rest, and that is the production of seed oil. It is reduced by a lot. So I think that one seed is now producing 5 seed oil, and you need 1000 seed oil for 1 bucket, really. So there is a lot of seeds going into this at the moment, and that is also one of the reasons why I created the pumpkin farm, in order to produce seed oil in the production of impregnant sticks, which is used in apiaries as frames in apiaries. This is also why I automated this very basic automation here. I am still manually moving pumpkin from the farm over there and up into this chest, but at least now I can take a lot of pumpkin in one go instead of just these 9 stacks here. A few extra. I have a lot of honey still. I'm not really using enough honey to notice any significant difference between easy and normal. And yeah, BuildCraft is unchanged, of course, but I don't think these recipes has changed too much. There might have been some changes to biomass and biofuel production, but none that I have noticed. I have more than enough biofuel. So all this biofuel used to be saplings. Yeah, mulch. I have started making mulch in a moistener, and it's actually down here. Yeah, obviously I didn't have anything running now, but the moistener will produce the mulch, and the byproduct is moss stone. I don't need that now, so I can just let it be so that I know where it is. Yeah, the moistener needs a darkness, so that's why I have it blocked off like that. Any other changes that I can remember? I don't think so. I think those are changes. So let's just quickly run through this system here. This should be a familiar site, my bog earth factory. I have done one change, and that is the chest. I used to have a chest to store dirt, but I'm now storing dirt directly in the auto crafting table instead. So I managed to remove one chest from the system, and I did that because it was, yeah, less piping and easier to get the pipes to in a way touch all the components that needed to be touched here. So the requests start at the peat bog upstairs, asking for bog earth, and this is the line for that. This will produce bog earth and it will be sent up. Peat and dirt comes down here and is sent in that direction. Actually, all dirt will probably end up here because there will always be some need for dirt in the automatic crafting table. But did I say peat? All dirt. Well, peat is sent down this line in order to feed the passively feed these peat-fired engines. So the peat will just zoom by here, and I think it's the green. Yeah. So here I tell the system to insert the peat into the engine if there is room. If there's no room, the peat will just continue because the red here is open. You can see that there is a peat icon here, but the peat will not turn here. That's impossible. It will not go back where it came, but it will go in the blue when it comes back. So the rules are the same here. And over here I have the same. Actually, the blue is empty here as well, but this is the trick here. There's an iron pipe in the end of the line, and that iron pipe makes sure to bounce the peat. I'm standing here hoping to get some peat here. Okay, now there's actually room for peat in the engine, so. But the peat coming here, as long as this is full, the peat engine is full, the peat will just hit the iron pipe and then zoom back here. And then it will, in every intersection here, it will sort of retry to enter the peat engine here and here. And if both of them are full, the peat will come outside here. So this is my storage for peat here, and then the chest in the middle is for peat. I have sorted here. And this is the chest for ash, sorted here as well. This is also the first diamond pipe that it comes to here, so I've had some extra sorting. Peat should go up together with... I have dirt here as well. I guess that was from when I was playing on easy, because this system was able to produce dirt then. Shouldn't need that anymore. I also have some rules for sand, which is probably also because of the difficulty setting was on easy. The system used to produce sand. And the pumpkins and the saplings ends up here in the red here. So that's sort of my biological storage, biological fuel sources and materials here. When the trees are cut down, the wood logs will come up here, and it's sorted both left and right here to these chests. So I basically just, it's a priority system. These chests here will be filled up before sending any logs over to the energy producers there, to the generators. And I have the same for spruce over here. This is the pumpkin farm. It's running along nicely. I'm not sure if this is the best setup, but it would probably be safe to have these closer, because I don't think a pumpkin doesn't really stay here long enough to obstruct the growth of another. So if these two stalks shared one space, I don't think that would matter. So I might redesign this layout, but it's kind of nice the way it is as well. Oh, it harvested. And there it goes. So that's the farming system. I am thinking about redesigning it once again. Instead of using the apatite to produce fertilizer, I might use a moistener to produce mulch instead, and use mulch in this recipe instead of fertilizer. But that would also, I think that would also require a carpenter instead of an automatic crafting table. So it would require a lot of redoing, redesigning. And instead of doing that rebuilding here, I'm now thinking about building a completely new system over here. So I made a large platform here above my quarry, and the plan is now to build the farms here. This is now 3 layers thick, and I will probably increase that thickness a little bit more to get room for some to the piping underneath, the same type of piping that I have over there. I think I found a slime chunk. Very few slimes there now, but I have had some slime armies in this chunk here. So I believe that is a slime chunk. You can see there are 2 medium slimes, or are they small? Might be small slimes. in there, and the only way for them to get inside there is by spawning there, I believe. There might be another slime chunk around here somewhere, because I get some slimes here in this area quite frequently, and now it's actually more here than there, which is kind of a surprise. But yeah, the plan is to build a slime farm down there. Actually, I have... You see the platform there? This is the last layer you can stand on before we get void fog. So if I jump down in, you see the void fog. So the plan now is actually to fill up everything else. Well, maybe not completely. At least make a floor here. Pretty thick floor that I can stand on or build on. And have the slime farm on top of that. We are still fairly low. Layer 27. And I think that the slimes will spawn up to level 40. And then there is something strange in swamps that will cause the slimes to spawn on the surface as well, as long as it is dark. So yeah, and it seems like there is also a height limit to slimes. I think I've talked about this before, because I do not get any slimes inside these towers. I'm actually been able to get rid of the slime problems on the surface. I was very annoyed with a lot of slimes here earlier. I think I showed one glimpse of a lot of slimes that were treading some water I had here. But I've now expanded my perimeter enough to avoid any slime spawning on the surface. So I'm sort of safe from that problem now, luckily. Let's see what else we can do. Let me show you my power supply to the diamond factory here. Two water mills that are being given water as input here. So the bucket enters here, the bucket is then emptied into the water mill. This is small water storage, and then the water is taken out again and sent to the dispenser here. Here it comes, and when the water enters the dispenser is triggered and the bucket is filled. You can see that the blue is lit and the red is off. Now the red came on, and that means that both are ready. The bucket here was empty and the bucket here was full, so now it was time to swap them. So this is yeah, it's a fairly expensive system here compared to the tech level. Water mills is supposed to be a fairly early type of energy source for EU, but I've used two golden autarchic gates here, so both one gold ingot and an ender pearl has been used in this setup. So I guess that's not too bad, but you need that for each water mill, and I guess that's the expensive part. these are the rules. So if the bucket is empty, then emit a redstone signal, and that will fill the bucket. The redstone signal will trigger the dispenser. If there is a water bucket in the dispenser and there is a red pipe signal coming in here from this gate, then emit a an energy pulse, and that energy pulse will power the wooden pipe that takes the bucket out of the dispenser. That red pipe signal here is very similar to the signal we create here. In this case, if there is a water bucket inside the dispenser, and that basically just means that the bucket is now ready to be swapped, then send a blue pipe signal. So when both are on, then they are swapped. And it's the same here, same set of rules. If the bucket is empty and it is receiving a blue signal from this gate here, then extract the bucket. And this is a test. If the bucket is empty, then send a red signal. So both are on, then swap. So that's a infinite and free energy, and it's actually enough to keep up with the production of diamonds here. I don't have any obsidian here, so I guess I should go and collect some obsidian. But my diamond production is moving along nicely, and I've actually stopped using this biogenerator here because these two water mills is able to refill this MFE between operations here. I don't refill this chest with coal that often anymore, so these two systems here is able to refill the energy supply there. Yeah, let's visit a new base that I've created. You got a glimpse of it in previous episode, and it is around the end portal. There is one drawback with the swamp that I never thought about before I built there, and it is related to bees. The humidity in the swamps are too high for most bees actually. The marshy bees and the tropical bees can work there, but not the regular forestry bees and meadows bees. So I needed to find a new location to do some bee breeding. So I've been doing some deconstruction of the strongholds, and I've built myself a new structure around the end portal. This is where I planned. I'm not sure anymore, but these are nether portals. This is the end portal. And up here we have the base. Very primitive, just a basic wall around an area where I'm currently doing my bee breeding. I don't think we have time to go through this in this episode. That will be for next time. So this episode was mostly a base tour and some talk about the constructions I've been doing. between episodes. Hopefully we will have some more time for some on-camera building, and it's in next episode, and it's probably going to be bee related. I have prepared an area here. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye bye.